Hello, and welcome to HLAI, Leading with Purpose. Today's episode is Rooted en Comunidad, Rising con Progreso, a conversation with Karina Ayala-Bermejo. I am Maria Elizabeth Calderon, one of your hosts today, along with Jennifer Crespo. We have the honor of sitting down with a truly inspiring leader who is shaping opportunities and creating impact right here in Chicago. Joining us is Karina Ayala-Bermejo, the president and CEO of Instituto del Progreso Latino, an organization with a powerful mission to empower Latino immigrants and families through education, workforce development, and community support. Under her leadership, Instituto continues to open doors for thousands of individuals, building pathways to progress and success. We are excited to dive into her journey, her vision, and the incredible work Instituto is doing for our community. Karina, welcome to the show. Let's get started.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you so much, Maria Elizabeth. Hello, Jennifer. It's such an honor to be here with the both of you, also super women in your own right.
Thank you so much for those kind words. Karina, as attorneys and given the times that we are living, could you kind of walk us through your journey from law school to today, kind of highlighting your career path and what has inspired you to continue working with the community?
Well, thank you so much. My journey did start as a young child. I'm an immigrant, so starting there, with a big dream of eventually, as our parents suggested, power in education. Education is power, and it's a great equalizer. So law school was where I found that voice and that power. Really about, 3 years prior, working with women and children who are survivors of domestic violence. I did orders of protection. So it really was a focus of mine to be a better advocate, right? Abogado, an advocate, means you're a problem solver and a community leader. So right out of law school, I really was focused on working with my talents, and I was an assistant general counsel at the Board of Education in the litigation department. I could have done that forever. I really enjoyed being a litigator and had the opportunity to litigate in federal court. But then a position opened up at the Chicago Bar Association and the Bar Foundation, and my mentors at the time said, these are awesome positions, and it was everything I did on my time off and really access to justice focus. So I leaned in, worked for the Chicago Bar Association. Part of that was the Lawyer Lend a Hand program, and that was a huge opportunity for me to make a positive impact, especially with our young people and connecting them, because we know that we don't get to these places alone. Exactly. And that it really takes the mentorship and the right guidance, especially at that young age. So that was something that I was very proud of. Then I got a call from Mayor Daley's administration to be a managing deputy in the HR department. Really was excited about learning the inside of government. So advanced to acting commissioner of HR during a time of a lot of learning, right? After the administration change, I ended up as a general counsel for Metropolitan Family Services in an opportunity, right, to represent Latina lawyers. Only 2% of Latina lawyers ever get to that general counsel position. So it was one that I was very proud of. And then I headed all of the Legal Aid Society, which really was a return to my origins. It helped individuals with domestic violence. It helped survivors of human trafficking. And I could have been there forever. But I got the call to lead Instituto del Progreso Latino. And when you read its mission, right, to ensure that every Latino immigrant has the opportunity to reach their full potential, I couldn't say no. So that, for me, was just evidence of full circle, right? In my trajectory, I stopped as a young girl at Instituto's Pilsen neighborhood to adjust my status with my family.
Oh.
So it is so
Definitely
impactful
full
and
circle.
meaningful to then help others really connect with pathways into their future.
No, thank you so much for walking us through that amazing career path that you've had. And like you mentioned, you went from social service, then to nonprofits, then into the sphere of the attorney world, then to government, then back to nonprofits. Yeah. And is that because of what you experienced as an immigrant, kind of coming back full circle? Is that one of the motivators that brought you to lead Instituto?
Yeah, without a doubt, the lived experience of being an immigrant and being raised under my dad, Ramiro Ayala, and Maria de Los Angeles Ayala's leadership of community. Like, they were very clear in their charge for us as young adults that we had to take care of our brothers and sisters, and they did not mean just the family. It was about taking care of community. They were present. Their leadership of doing that, we observed it all our lives. I recall summers and winters where migrants would come to our house, and my father would take the coat off his back or grill arrachera and welcome them. And that was just part of our DNA. So community and being part of community and creating a sense of belonging has always been part of my journey. But without a doubt, the access to justice component comes about through the many circumstances in our life that I was the voice at a very young age. As many immigrants are, the translators and the
doctors,
the doctors,
the
lawyers, the
teachers,
411s, and that is a blessing. It's a blessing that we may not understand as young people at the time, but it really allows you to be a problem solver. And at the core of what being an attorney is, you're solving problems, and you're doing it with dignity and respect, ensuring that your clients, your community, those who you are trying to lift up, have the opportunity, no matter where they're starting, right? Mm-hmm. My dad was, a migrant farm worker, third grade education, but the smartest person in the world. So I treat everyone that I meet with that lived experience and just that connection so deeply with community, knowing that they are brilliant and they are with limitless potential, and that all we have to do is just meet them where they're at.
Exactly. I just want to go back to the CBA.
Yes.
And the program that you were the first executive director for.
Yes.
Lawyers Lend a Hand to Youth. I've been honored to be a volunteer there for 3 years.
So wonderful.
And it's very important what you're stating, right? That we have to be there and provide the tools necessary for the youth, because many of those young children that are bussed in from Inglewood,
right,
haven't met an attorney like many of us, right? I didn't have an attorney in my family here. And just the importance of connecting with them. So I applaud you for everything that you've done, because that, especially that program, to me is very special. I've gotten to work and meet the families of these children, and just to see, their faces light up that they could become an attorney or a judge or a doctor or whatever they wish, but just seeing the possibility that it can be done.
That's right.
Listening to our stories. So it's important to be in those different spaces.
You have to be a child, a young person who doesn't see themselves, right, in their future aspirational goals. It's difficult for them to see that they can become what they don't see. That's why representation is so important. That's why programs that introduce opportunities to connect with people outside of their normal network are so critically important. And yes, there was no attorney in my family. There was little, if any, individuals in South Chicago, the community that I was, that went beyond graduating high school. So for me, being a mentor, because of the mentors that led in my life, it was important to start earlier, right? So I was honored to be the first executive director of Lawyers Lend a Hand, and so happy to hear that it continues to thrive and continues to open up doors to many youth.
No, thank you for that.
Karina, I'm wondering, as you mentioned these roles of Assistant General Counsel, Executive Director, President, each time you've, as you put it, gotten the call, what has that moment felt like initially these are big deals, you know? These are, at the end of the day, your signature at the end.
It's an awesome feeling to be in a room where it happens, right? And you always dream of the biggest possibilities of making a difference in your community, and you know that at times it means great sacrifice, and that it means leading, because a leadership position isn't about you, it's about the cause. So I have always felt a calling to or a pulling into. I've never looked for a position. The positions have always reached out to me. And it's been an entire full circle moment to be leading Instituto. I think everything in my life had prepared me for this moment in time during such great hardship for our community. There are so many opportunities that I have gained great expertise in by doing more. You lean in your talents and strengths, and you lend them to organizations and opportunities. And a lot of what I've gained isn't on my day job. It's on the volunteer opportunities, the appointments that I've had the honor of serving. It's through those volunteer moments that I think I've really grown. And yes, it has been extraordinary to be the head of many organizations, but I feel that in many points it's a calling, it's a devotion, it's a higher purpose, it's a higher being moving me into situations where I know that when you lead with purpose and intentionality, those opportunities find you.
They do, and like you mentioned, your family was able to adjudicate with the help of Instituto, and
it was actually Casatlan that
Casatlan
no longer
exists.
exists, but the fact that it was in Pilsen, right where I am centered, and really do continue to do a similar work. It's pretty amazing.
Could you talk to us about all the programming, all the wonderful programming? I'm just gonna highlight the programs, and then you could dive into them a little bit more for me. Adult education, career pathways, immigration, legal aid services, Instituto College, 2 high schools, and how that seems like a lot in itself.
Yes. It's so exciting to be able to share all of the impact of Instituto de Progreso Latino. And frankly, when I received the call from the headhunter, I didn't know about Instituto and all of its awesomeness. We strongly believe that education is power, which is something my parents taught me early on. So we lead with education, and the 2 high schools that we have are critically important. We have 2 charter schools, starting with our Health Sciences Career Academy. I mean, I'm blown away at the brilliance and the curriculum that students are really focused in health sciences, right? We know that the health inequities in our communities are, that gap is very wide. So we want to ensure that the next level of bilingual, bicultural healthcare workers are coming and having that idea stem immediately at Instituto. We have so many credentials that high school students are earning while they're still in high school. So we just had a graduation of about 40 students where our juniors and seniors have become CNAs, so certified nursing assistants. We also have an emergency medical service and that leads to technicians, so an EMT program. I was an EMT in college. That just was an amazing opportunity. So we want our high school students because we know they can do it, and they can do it while they're in high school. Then we have our alternative school, our Instituto Leadership and Justice Academy, or Justice and Leadership Academy. And I have to tell you, those students are the most resilient students. These are students, for whatever reason, traditional high school didn't work out for them, but they are focused. They are coming back. They don't want a GED, which is not a problem for some people. They want a high school diploma. So currently we have about 130 students there representing 10 different countries. A lot of our migrant students are in those programs, and we have a 75% STLS, which is a homeless population. So these are like resilient students, superhuman individuals who are either also working, also taking care of family, and are working through situations that most young people should never face. So those are our two high schools. And during my tenure as president, I'll be celebrating 8 years this October. I can't believe 8 years have passed, but I opened up a college with the help of our amazing team, and didn't think that I'd be opening up a college of nursing, especially with a legal degree. But I think that legal degree absolutely helped me with the accreditation levels and much of what entails to open a college. And I think the most important part of that is that it is a pipeline from our high school into through receiving an associate's degree in nursing. And it's at no cost. So we want our community to have the opportunities without going into debt. So all of our, over the last cohorts, they have 100% passage rate in NCLAS, right? That's the same test that the four-year university nursing students take, and our two-year associate degree nursing students are taking it, and they're passing at 100%. So they become RNs, and we want to encourage them to keep going. That because now they're working at the most amazing hospitals, where before they wouldn't have been considered with an associate's degree. But if there's a silver lining in COVID, is that now, because they're bilingual and they're bicultural and they've passed NCLAS, they're being placed everywhere, Loyola, Northwestern, and there's such a huge demand.
Exactly.
So super blessed to be able to open up a career pathway for our community and our students to excel without getting into debt and stay in the communities where we know we have a high degree of health inequities.
That's an amazing success story. When I was reading, doing my research on Instituto, I was surprised when I seen Instituto College.
Right.
And then to even learn more that 100% success rate. But again, I think it's because you have provided the tools for success. And I think the potential is there for our youth in the Latino community, but we need to provide them the pathway and the tools.
And the uniqueness is that we are focusing on triple non-traditional students, right? We want students who, first generation, maybe head of household, maybe they wouldn't otherwise fulfill their dream of becoming a nurse. And we're working with that community that are in underrepresented communities. So many folks can go to a nursing program, but we want to work with those that are really committed and are non-traditional students, because we want to prove that, yes, our community can do it, and they're doing it in an impressive rate.
No, that's amazing, and the demand's there.
Yes.
Right, so the jobs are there, and the pay is there as well, so it also provides them for more stability.
It takes them from a $14, $16 hour to a $40 to $45 when $10,000 bonuses. So this is truly an economic engine for not only their family, but really strengthens the community.
And also upward mobility.
Absolutely.
So that's wonderful. We applaud that
Thank
work.
you.
Could you talk to us about also the space that you've expanded regarding pro bono at Instituto?
I would love to do that, and it touches on, oh goodness, the many opportunities that we have at Instituto. And I didn't mention, we are the largest submitter of citizenship applications in the entire state. So we've grown our legal services. Our legal services now include not just the deportation defense work, obviously, and immigration is a huge area that our community is requesting for us, and we respond to the need of the community. But this is where Hispanic Lawyers Association of Illinois kicked in. You all contributed to our citizenship workshop, but but also in growing our very robust pro bono for the community. So thank you.
No, thank you for allowing us to be part. And now I'm going to hand it over to Jen.
Well, thank you so much for
Oh,
this
goodness, thank you.
engaging discussion. I'm excited to talk to you about HLAI and serving the Hispanic lawyers of Illinois.
Yes.
We've talked a lot about community, and I think about the community of the Hispanic lawyers and your influence on it. I have to say, the way that you lead with kindness has really inspired me to try and become the community leader that I am. And I want to talk about your relationship with HLAI.
Yes.
You are about to receive HLAI's highest honor on October 3rd at its annual gala and installation ceremony at the Palmer House. Can you tell us about this award and your special relationship to this particular award?
I'm blown away at this highest honor that HLAI is bestowing upon me. And I know that about 22 years ago when I was president, I was thinking of ways to honor individuals who were iconic to me, like Anita Alvarez, who received the first award. So the fact that this award was generated or created when I was president is incredible because the significance of it. And it really, I'm so honored and I'm humbled and I'm really blessed to be here and celebrating 30 years of HLAI with the both of you, who I consider sisters, and many mentees who are now judges, many mentees who are now lawyers, many mentees who are GCs because of the JD Mentor program that I created as well when I was president. So it's just an incredible feeling to see the tribe that is now representing Instituto as attorneys.
Well, you've really encouraged our involvement there. What would you advise people who are looking to lead their respective organizations and communities?
Always reach out to the individuals who you aspire to become. If you're a young person and want to be an attorney, there's many of us who want to help you in that journey. And always, as leaders, we need mentors, we need supporters. So continue to evolve, be a lifelong learner, and reach in and reach back to make sure that you are not just succeeding, but that you're pulling forth the next generation of Latino lawyers.
You've mentioned mentorship, and I, want to talk to you about perhaps some of your mentors, people who've received the award you're about to receive. I'm just going to read some names here. The Honorable Patricia Mendoza, Mercedes Luque Rosales, Jessie Ruiz, Jennifer Rosato.
Yes.
Who are those people? What do their names mean to you?
They mean so much. Mercy Luque Rosales was somebody who went to Loyola University and said, you can major in anything, just do well, and you could always go to law school. So she planted the seed that I know when I was reflecting in my career that I could always go to law school. So may she rest in peace. She is an inspirational individual, and everyone that you named has touched my heart. But I really want to thank you both for this opportunity.
Well, thank you so much for coming and telling us your story and your pathway and everything you've done. Congratulations. We are honored to be sitting here with you, and thank you, Jen.
I was so glad to be a part of this. As I mentioned, the gala is next week at the Palmer House, October 3rd. If you need a ticket, email waitlist@hlai.org.
Thank you.
Thank you. That brings us to the end of today's episode. A heartfelt thank you to Karina Ayala-Bermejo, President and CEO of Instituto del Progreso Latino, for sharing her leadership journey and the incredible work Instituto is doing to empower families and build brighter futures in Chicago. If you would like to learn more about their programs and impact, be sure to visit Instituto's website. Karina, congratulations again on being named HLAI's Aguilar Award recipient for all your efforts and exceptional work in the legal profession. And thank you, our listeners, for tuning in. Your support helps us continue to highlight voices that are driving meaningful changes in our communities. It was a pleasure having you, Jennifer Crespo, as my co-host for this episode. Thank you for bringing your unique voice to the show. Until next time, I am Maria Elizabeth Calderon, and this has been HLAI Leading with Purpose.